David Benavidez and David Morrell just delivered a fight that got the boxing world talking. Here's what the pros are saying about this explosive showdown.
Hey man, it was a good fight, man. Especially them last 2 rounds were really good in the early rounds, you know. But I mean, bro, Benavidez' pressure was strong, man. A good fight, real good fight.
By David Benavidez against a highly skilled David Morrell. Your assessment, Jim, ringside, from the type of fight Benavidez fought here tonight?
It's interesting because one of Morrell's cornermen, Bob Santos, told me yesterday in the media room, if David can keep the fight right in front of him within a tight range, if he can have a straight-on angle to go at Benavidez and try to catch him with quick shots upstairs, he'll have a chance to win the fight. And I think that in the late rounds, you could see that that was good thinking. But what he didn't have was any way of defending effectively against Benavidez's roundhouse shots upstairs and to the body. Benavidez's constant application of power to the rib cage, to the shoulders, to any place he could touch. At the end of the day, if there's one thing Morrell should have learned tonight, throw body punches. That's the way to win big fights. I went into the 10th round saying on PPV.com that I didn't think I had seen Morrell land a single meaningful body punch in the fight.
There was one round that he didn't score any punches, the 6th.
Benavidez landed bushels of body shots. That's what won him the fight.
From what you saw tonight out of Benavidez, how does he fare against Canelo?
I mean, he got a chance. He got a chance. 2 great Mexicans. I think they both dominant. They both great, and it's one of those things when I look at Benavidez, you know how we grow up, you're like, damn. You see the big bad guy in school, like you can never see that dude lose. It's the same with Canelo. It's like you can never see that guy lose. So it's like, that's 2 tremendous fighters. Somebody got to end, you know, I think, I'm gonna be honest with you. I think they both, I don't want to say they're nervous, but it's a high respect for one another. I think that's why we're not getting that fight as soon as we want to get it, because hey, we want to get it, that price got to be right, you know, because that 0 for both of those guys is worth a lot of money. You get what I'm saying? So, like I said, I know we all love to see that fight, but we also got to understand, you know, these are 2 outstanding quality fighters.
Benavidez, yeah, he won it by decision. And then, you know, that one knockdown, that was a knockdown. Then he had that point deducted, Morrell did. So it came out to a 9-8 round, so it's not going to affect him much.
Hell of a fight. I thought Benavidez won convincingly, but Morrell put up a hell of a fight and started to rally a little bit later. And, you know, this is experience that both of them are going to be able to take into the, you know, other big fights, and experience is priceless. So,
what is it about David Benavidez in these long fights that kind of seems to give him energy? What is it like going 12 rounds with David? Put it that way.
Yeah, I mean, he's a big old boy, and, you know, on top of that, he's got a lot of skill, a lot of speed, a lot of attributes, and he's mean-spirited. And, you know, being mean-spirited take you a long ways in boxing.
Today he did the same thing, but in the midst of that, there was a knockdown. Was that shocking for you? What were your thoughts on it?
I gotta go watch it. In my opinion, you know, I was turning around. I think it was more like out balance. But that's exciting, you know, when somebody, you know, David's fucking winning the whole fight. Then he kind of gets dropped. It's exciting. People are like, whoa, you know, shit. If I was watching home, I'd be like, damn. And then I look at him and he's fucking standing up, smiling, like, come on, mother. You know, shit, I got scared. You know, so I think Morrell's like, what the f? You know? So I think these are the kind of fights that the fans deserve, you know? They want to be entertained. It can't just be hitting one side. You got to get hit back. And you've seen David's fucking face. He came and brought it. You know, that's why they call him the fucking Mexican monster.
Technically, it was a knockdown, but it didn't really hurt Benavidez. And then, you know, I think Morrell was just defending himself. Benavidez threw a few shots after the bell. So, you know, Morrell just reciprocated that.
Yeah, of course, Canelo's not going to want to fight. Canelo didn't want to fight Boo Boo. He didn't want to fight David Morrell. He doesn't want to face nobody. The only fighters that Canelo Alvarez wants to see fight is either too old or too young that don't have experience. Those are the only ones. He would not face the Mexican monster.
I knew David. Look, I really want to get him. I intended. I don't want to end English. Hey, it's only a thief. He's totally a thief, man. Not like he's Are you a thief? Hey, I wish I could trade checks with you guys. I wish I could trade checks with both of you.
Oh, I mean, let's bring him.
I'm not afraid of you one.
All right, we're gonna wrap up Morrell. We're gonna wrap up Morrell.
Let's get him. You lay a hand on me.
Nos está amenazando que vamos a mirar, que vamos a mandar a toda la gente no sé qué. Nos está amenazando.
Well, let's get one picture of Morrell and Benavidez.
Con todo amor y cariño, cabrón.
Teddy Atlas weighed in on the fight beforehand, breaking down the contrasting styles of the two fighters.
Morrell, the one shot, advantage him. The technical approach, maybe Morrell a little bit, where he's a little bit more controlled.
He clarified that this wasn't a knock on Benavidez' skills, acknowledging his calculated aggression.
In no ways am I implying that Benavidez is not technically solid or controlled. He's controlled about what he's doing. He knows exactly what he's doing. He's bringing pressure. He's bringing havoc. He's bringing body punching. He's bringing inside work. He knows exactly what he's doing.
Teddy Atlas didn't hold back when analyzing the stylistic clash between David Benavidez and David Morrell before the fight. He highlighted their aggressive tendencies while noting key differences in their approach.
I think that the approach of Morrell is much different. They both like to be aggressive, but Morrell in a more contained way, in a more controlled way.
Atlas suggested that this contrast could be a defining factor in the fight, with Morrell's measured style countering Benavidez' relentless pressure. Tim Bradley broke down the fight with a detailed tactical analysis, highlighting the razor-thin margin between the two fighters. He emphasized the key strategies both would need to follow for victory.
What do you think about that fight?
A 50-50 fight. It's a 50-50 matchup. If Morrell can stay concentrated and wash, rinse, and repeat his game plan, attack that body, use his boxing ability, avoid getting trapped on the ropes, stand in the center of the ring. Benavidez, if he presses, if he gets past and escape without being knocked down or hurt, in the first half of the fight, if he can constantly put pressure on Morrell, force him out, force him onto his back foot where he's not extremely comfortable at because he likes to come forward as well. Push a high pace, let his combinations fly, bang down to his body, really make it uncomfortable for him. I think he can win the fight.
Bradley's breakdown underscored the importance of strategy and adaptability, making it clear that this fight was as much mental as it was physical. Ahead of the fight, the tension was visible as both fighters faced off at the final press conference. David Morrell, however, seemed unfazed by the heated exchanges, calmly reacting to Benavidez' intensity.
He didn't even get time to talk properly. That's a symptom of him being nervous. So the fact that he was jumpy, it means that he's, he's not all there like in composure. So, and I'm here, I'm just chilling, I'm dancing. So I'm ready.
Morrell's confident response stood in stark contrast to Benavidez' fiery demeanor, showcasing his belief in his own mindset and readiness for the fight. Before the fight, Jorge Linares predicted the highly anticipated matchup between David Benavidez and David Morrell, offering his expert perspective on what was to come. Linares' analysis highlighted the unpredictable nature of the fight, with both fighters bringing their own unique strengths to the table. The stage was set for an explosive showdown. As the press conference grew increasingly heated, David Benavidez responded to the trash talk and tension surrounding the fight. His reaction was filled with intensity, showing just how much the back and forth fueled his motivation.
Benavidez have a lot of experience, a lot of power, more heavy than Morrell, but Morrell have the talent good too. He's fast and he have a strong punch and a strong combination. I think 50-50. Let's see, but I think we can see something knocked down. In what round, I don't know, but it's a tough fight for both of them.
Benavidez' fiery reaction made it clear that the pre-fight banter only served to intensify his focus and drive for the upcoming showdown. The tension reached a boiling point at the final press conference as David Benavidez and David Morrell nearly came to blows. What started as trash talk quickly escalated, with both fighters exchanging fiery words that set the stage for an intense showdown.
Now we're coming with all energy, not like this pussy right here. Peace and love. What was all that you were talking about back then? Look, now this guy's nervous. I'm gonna beat the out of you, and I hope you don't have no excuses, because you look scared as right now. To be honest, you can smile, you do all you want, but watch. When you step into that ring this Saturday, that's El Monstruo's world, and you're gonna see exactly what the I'm made of.
Is that dog or monster? What the heck? Is that dog or monster? What do you mean, bro? I mean, this name, the monster, is really. You don't have to announce monster.
Tú vas a quién es el monstruo el sábado, pendejo. You're gonna see who the
Que diga lo mismo que te voy a decir a ti después de la pelea, papi.
Morrell, equally charged, didn't back down, further stoking the fire. The bad blood was palpable, and fans were left wondering whether this was just pre-fight drama or a real indication of how heated the fight would get in the ring. The stage was already set for a potential war. Robert Garcia was fired up when discussing the highly anticipated bout between David Benavidez and David Morrell, and he couldn't contain his excitement about what the fight would bring to the fans.
Benavidez, Morrell. How does that fight go?
It's gonna be sick. See, those are the fights that need to happen, man. Those are the fights that the world wants to see. You know, I was talking about Bam, but there's no big names for Bam at 115. 118, maybe a couple. 122, maybe one day, 3 years from now. But Benavidez, you know, and Morrell, they both move up to a division where they're chasing the big fights and now they're fighting each other. That's just fucking badass, man. That's gonna be a sick ass fight.
When asked about his prediction, Garcia went on.
Can't wait for that one.
How do you see it going though? Who do you favor?
Man, those two are too
busy guy that sets it up, got a lot of power.
Both are they're gonna put up a badass fight, man. I don't know, man. It's a hard pick, but I'm going with Benavidez definitely.
Mexico.
Definitely have to go with Benavidez, but it'll be a badass fight.
Yeah.
I'm glad they're doing it. See, they're showing everybody else, you know, that the fights could, you know, they need to happen. We need to see them.
Garcia's prediction was clear, but his enthusiasm for the matchup underscored just how big this fight was shaping up to be. Fans were in for a treat, and it seemed like the entire boxing world was eager to see who would come out on top. As we close out the post-fight reactions, the real question is, did the pros' predictions match up with the action inside the ring? The Benavidez versus Morrell bout was nothing short of spectacular, and now we have all the expert opinions to weigh in on just how the fight unfolded. What's your take on the fight? Who do you think came out on top in terms of strategy, execution, and raw talent? The conversation is far from over.